What is going on, everyone? Welcome back to another video. If you can't tell, we are at Jason Brazel's shop. He has got the newly named Grand National Lil Kev in the shop. They're doing some work on it, so we're going to definitely mess up his workflow and just stick a camera in his face and make him as unproductive as possible, because that is what I do best. And I mean, hey, there's nothing else better to do than just make it harder for someone else to work, and I enjoy doing that. But I wanted to give a shout out to one of the guys, Ron Bailey. If you guys don't know him, I don't think I've shown his car on the channel yet, but you definitely will see it in the future. He has a badass Grand National. I actually could just pull one of Ron's shirts out. This is his deal, Big Worm Racing. There's his car, just a I'd say great t-shirt. That's a good looking car right there. So Ron's out here hurting feelings, but you know whose feelings he's not hurting is the cow. Doesn't want any of the cow. Ron, that's your warning. Don't step on the cow's toes. It'll bite. It's got mad cow disease. All right, enough of the stupid cow jokes. This is the box of goodies that he's got for me. Headlights, headlight bezels. I got the corners, the corner lights. I mean, this stuff right here is stuff that is hard to find. And I mean, look at the condition. I mean, like, look at that. I'm like, I can't wait. We're going to put real headlights in the front clip of this car, which is going to be badass. So, huge shout out to Ron. Guys, check him out, Big Worm Racing. I couldn't thank him enough because I had no idea where I could source any of this stuff from, and it was literally like 1 or 2 Facebook messages, and he got me hooked up. And he also got me a guy to paint the front clip, so we're going to be toned up. So let's go and bring this stuff into Jason here and show him more presents I got for him. Alright, so we got Jason over here doing his thing. Right now, he is making new attachments for the front clip to go on here because they had some smaller ones, and it was a struggle to get this front end on. Jason, what's up? I was just telling the people that we need the amateur version. I think here's the other one. Where'd it go? Right here. We got the pro version and the amateur version. So what you do is you set the, what is there, just like a support on that? You set it on here and slide it back in?
Yeah, it actually just, what it does is the front end actually sits down right here. You slide it in. Once it goes in there, you lock your sluice fasteners and it keeps it from going up and down. So, and we don't have, we're not good enough to get it on this little short guy here. Yeah, this one right here is going to cost you 2 or 3 front ends. This one right here, I hope to keep you on the first front end. So
oh man,
we're going to try it out and see what happens.
Yeah, after about an hour of trying to get the front end on, we said that was a important topic that we need to be worked on. So Jason has been working away here on this. He just got started on it this afternoon, and as you can see, a little bit different than before. He cut off this ridiculous tow hook / pecker extender mount, and some stuff was added to the chassis after the fact, like this. And you go in here, you can see where he's trying to clean up a bunch of stuff, and we're gonna cap this off. It looks like they shoved a pipe in here, a tube at some point, and then welded, and it got stuck in there, and so that's all lopped off. He's going to cap those off on both sides. We do have to address an issue with the steering rack, where if I go underneath, you guys can see that there's an open hole for a mount. So they only have it mounted one side on each end, so we're going to make another mount and mount it both, because something that is important is steering. Also, we had the issue with the crossover fuel line going from the tank over to the pump. It goes underneath the blower. And here it is. Is this your favorite part?
Oh yeah.
One of them? Yes, this is the...
That's the fuel reducer.
The fuel reducer. So, the silicone on each end, probably not recommended. Also, necking it down to whatever that is, probably not recommended. So, you are going to provide a little more clearance?
Yeah, here we go. We got...
Oh!
This is where we're going.
Wow, that's the real deal right there, huh?
So,
good night. What is that?
Number 20.
God, that is massive.
That's what she said.
So,
that is large.
That's what she said.
Yep.
Well, that should probably do it.
Yeah.
Wait till I kink it right in the middle there for you, just to make sure it fits good. So hey, before you run over there, look at this. I brought a box of goodies.
Sweet.
All legit Grand National stuff. So my boy Ron hooked it up. We got corner lights, headlights, and the hardest thing to get, which are the corners. Look at these OG, like some dude was rolling around 87 with these, probably picking up chicks. From what I'm told, are very difficult to come by. Look at that, like OEM, like street car.
Oh, yeah.
Now it's up to you to mount them.
Gotcha. man. I got you.
I look at this stuff, I'm like, dude, there's no way this will ever work. And you're like, oh, no big deal.
That's no problem. No problem. I'll say that now.
Yeah. Pulling your hair out in like weeks.
Yeah.
Like, man, this stuff, I just need to make sure it's rated for 200 mile an hour and then we're good.
We'll try.
So you guys said you wanted to see some of Jason doing the work on there. No major cage fabrication on this right here. It's a bunch of little stuff. The cage and the chassis of the car are really good. Like when he's going to be doing the cage work on the salty chicken, so we'll be able to see him do that whole cage. I know I talked to you guys about that Hellcat that he was doing. He built an entire 25-2 cage in 2 weeks, and that's off at powder coating right now. So we'll watch him do some of the little stuff. It's pretty cool because he does not have any crazy big tools, CNC or anything like that. He does it all with himself and some hand tools and creativity. This here is actually where Jason spends most of his nights. He does a little bit of work and he goes, he got me talking to him. So he's under there test fitting them. And I told everyone that's where you normally stay. You work a little bit late out here and you just crawl under there.
Yeah, if I go in late, the wife will have it.
So if you guys take a peek under here, you'll see the bar that we're talking about right there. And that is what aligns it on the front end. You can see these clips. Right there is one, and right there is another. And that eliminates it from going side to side. And believe it or not, this was kind of like a big deal because we couldn't get the front end on. It took forever. Call us rookies. Another thing that we are going to address before we go to the track is the wiring on this car. We're going to get a Motion Raceworks mount for the Holly Dominator. We're also going to get a couple other goodies. They got some protectors for the USB hookup and everything like that. So we're definitely going to hit up Motion Raceworks. Talk about custom. All right, see, we got these new, what do you call these? Just like a front end mount?
Yeah, these are beginner mounts.
Beginner mounts. You can find these on your online store.
Yeah.
For any of the beginners out there.
Yeah.
But hey, if it gets the job, it's not like you're going to see it. Well, now everyone knows because I'm putting it on a video. Now I'm going to go to the track and take the front end off and everyone's going to be like, oh, I still got the beginner mounts on there?
I'm going to paint them dishes like a bright neon green.
So we can't miss it. Listen, you know what I'm going to do is when everyone heckles me in the comments and is like, you come and put the front end on. You know?
Exactly. That's what you're doing, is have a competition to see who can get the front end on.
Yeah, so this should make our life a little bit easier. And I feel like that's something that's kind of important, being that we're going to be taking the front end off after every single pass. Having that is going to make our life a whole lot easier.
Yeah, anything as far as that goes, if you can make it easier on yourself and quicker, it's a lot better. So.
And you literally whip these up in like 2 minutes.
Yeah.
That's pretty impressive. And I was telling people, you do everything here by like your hands and creativity. You don't have badass CNC machines. You don't have all this crazy stuff. You just get it done. And at the end of the day, it's more badass than most people with the badass stuff. So what are you thinking next with the front end? I gotta ask, since everything's all cut off down here and suspect.
Blind these off here, and then I'll end up putting a small bar here so that we can put a tow hook to pull it back.
Other than that, everything looks like it is structurally safe and sound.
Yeah, I think everything else is fine on the car as far as front end goes. So.
All right. Well, hey, if it fits, it ships, right? All right. So if you don't mind, just explain to me explain to myself and the people what you're doing here.
Well, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna add a bar across here, but it kind of goes a little lower, like this. Just put a small bend in it. Put a tow hook on it so that when you're winching it in the trailer and stuff, it's easy to get to. Okay. And that way, with the bend, we'll still have room for the fuel line.
Okay, perfect. So I know that's why that pipe was crushed. The fuel pipe, not the fuel line. The fuel.
Had it where they had the extender out the front. They had to crush it.
Yeah, I hear that. So what do you? So you just measure across? Do you measure it longer because you have to bend it, or?
Yeah, usually I put a little extra in it and put the bend and come back and kind of just touch it up.
All right. Well, I'll leave you alone and watch you do your thing. Tack dog.
You gotta measure it with you. Is that right, Daisy?
So you just kind of eyeball it, what angle you're cutting it to get a notch on it?
Yeah.
God, you made that look too easy. Everyone at home is gonna think they could do that now.
Damn, man.
God, you literally just eyeball that notch?
Yeah.
That's disgusting. That's not even right.
So we'll leave it down some so that way we can get the fuel line.
Mm-hmm.
And then what I'll do is I'll come back from here all the way back, tie it in, and then we'll put us a loop out front right here.
Awesome. That is badass. God, that's ridiculous. You did that like in 2 minutes.
Man, I learned it on YouTube.
Alright, so Jason just knocked this out. Literally light work. You're working way faster than anyone else has worked with me around, because I just make everyone go way slower. So what are you doing? You're just putting some end caps on there, and
finish up the mod with some end caps. Go ahead and finish flushing out the fuel cell. So
it was smelling real good.
Yeah, make sure it doesn't
Questionable nitro in there is what you're saying?
Man,
some M5?
Possible.
Well,
I'm gonna make sure it's cleaned out real good, and next step, once I get this done, is to just put a 20 fitting on it and 20 fitting on the bottom of the pump, and go ahead and try to get the fuel system done.
So not a bunch of stuff to do, just a bunch of little things, really.
Yeah, just a lot of small things. Once we get that done and get the prime pump remounted, front end's pretty well done.
And then what do we got? Mount the seat, mount the shifter, and kind of scale the car, and that's it.
Just some small things. Like I said, it's just I got my honey-do list, so I got to go down it and see.
Well, I appreciate your badass work. Thanks for letting me film. The people need to know you make some badass trans coolers. We talked about it a little bit. Where I'm gonna watch you put a couple of those together, and then you guys at home might be able to scoop some of those up. So that is a, what is it? It's an external trans cooler?
Yeah, it's an external to where when you come back, you just plug it into the fan, circulates the fluid through 2 coolers with dual fans. It also has a temperature gauge on it. So usually about 1 degree, 2 degrees per minute.
Which is nice.
Works great on a bunch of our radial turbo cars so far. So I'll throw one together for you and let you test it out on this car.
And if people at home want it, they know where to get it.
Yeah, Browse Performance Fabrication. Hit me up and I can get you one made.
Hell yeah. Well, I'm gonna let you get back to work here. We'll be checking with you next week. We gotta do a whole video. There's a huge stink about mounting a damn 275 on a 14-inch rim. People are saying it's impossible. I heard you have to like throw like pixie dust on it or something.
Nah, it's not impossible, but we get to sit there and laugh at the guys while they do it because I'm not doing it.
All right, well, thank you for your hard work.
Yes, sir.
I'll be catching up with you next week, and if you need anything, if you want me to, you know, I did you dirty on my Instagram. I told everyone I just taught you how to weld, and I was like letting you do it on your own. So, you know, if you need any more welding tips, I'm just like a phone call away.
I got you.
All right, we'll see you. All right, we're gonna head back to the shop, and I got a present for this car that I got to show you guys. New shifter just came in, so we're gonna head back there in just a second. All right, guys, I lied to you. You got to check out tomorrow's video to see this new badass shifter. When I say it's badass, I really mean it. It's something I've been wanting for the longest time. They are just like, they're the cat's meow. But thank you guys so much for watching. Jason absolutely knocked it out with all the work that he's doing on Lil Kev, and it's pretty badass. We're gonna try to get that thing done and testing next week. So I got new LS Nasty shirts coming in, should be Monday or Tuesday. If you haven't already, place your order for your American flag style LS Nasty shirts because they go so fast. I literally 1 or 2 days I'll be sold out of them. Also, I got the OG black and white LS Nasty shirts, so get those and get them quick before they're gone. Thank you guys so much for watching. We'll see you guys in tomorrow's upload.